Hello dear students, welcome you all to Sri Vidyaniketan Public School online chemistry classes. Today let us discuss about the versatile nature of carbon. So as you know that the carbon is going to show the different variety of characters when you compare with any other elements in the periodic table. So we can say that the carbon is having unique nature, unique characters when you are comparing with any other elements. So what are those unique characters? Let us learn in this chapter now. So when you come to the versatile nature, the first point, the first character or the first nature I am taking here, it is about valency. And in that, the carbon is showing tetravalency. The carbon is showing tetravalency. So tetra in the sense, it's nothing but 4. Is it right? Tetra is nothing but 4. When you come to the tetravalency, carbon have an ability to show the valency about 4. So how that 4 valency we got? Already in the last class I was discussing about the valency and how to draw the valence dot structure around the symbol. When I was explaining about covalent bonding, there we discussed it. So whenever you are going to write the electronic configuration, carbon is having atomic number 6. And if you write based on the shells like K shell and L shell, K contains 2 electrons and L contains 4 electrons. So in this, the outermost shell is L shell and which is consisting only 4 valence electrons. Due to that, carbon is having 4 valence electrons. And if you want the valency, what you have to do? In metals and non-metals, we discussed it there. You need to subtract the valence electron. If the valence electrons are more than 3, what you have to do? You need to subtract those valence electron by using number 8, because the 8 is octet structure or the number of electrons which is present in the stable electronic configuration. Right. So due to that, subtract that 8 minus 4, it is nothing but 4. Then the valency of carbon is 4. Like this also we can identify. Or the another way, if 4 valence electrons are there, if the carbon wanted to get its stability, then what it should do? It should get the 8 electron in the outermost shell. L is consisting 4 electron. L is the outermost shell. It is consisting 4 electron. Still how many electrons it needed to go for stability? Still it need 4 electron. It may gain, it may share the electron. Based on that, still it need 4 electron. Due to that, the valency of carbon is 4. When the valency of carbon is 4, then the carbon is showing, we can say that the carbon is showing tetravalency. It is having maximum valency. By that, it have an ability to combine with number of similar elements or other different kind of atoms also. So this is one of the unique nature, unique character of this carbon. So this is first one. And the second one, if you come with the second one, already we have discussed it. Carbon always forms covalent bonding. Carbon always forms covalent bonding. In the carbon atom, whenever the carbon and any other element is going to combine, it is going to show the bond in between those atoms will be always covalent bonding. Already we have discussed the reason. What is the reason here? Carbon have an ability to share the electron. It does not have the ability to form +4 cation or -4 anion. It is not able to lose the electron and it is not having an ability to gain the electron, because already this carbon is a smaller in size. When the carbon is in smaller size, the nucleus is at the centermost and the first shell is K shell and second shell is L shell. Outermost shell is consisting of 4 valence electrons and the other number of electron, if it is shared also, it will be L shell only, right? So this L shell is very near to the nuclei which is consisting of positive charged particles. So due to that, the outermost electrons, the electrons which are present in the L shell, that too in the carbon, so those electrons will be having maximum attractive forces towards the center of the nucleus. So due to that, the losing capacity is not easy. Okay, the losing capacity is not easy. So based on that, what we can say, it always goes for the process called as sharing. So by sharing, so this carbon will show covalent bonding with them. For example, I said methane, CH4. Okay, so this carbon is going to share electrons, 4 electrons with the hydrogen. By that, the mutual sharing will be taking place in between carbon and hydrogen. Then they forms a bond called as covalent bonding. Even carbon monoxide, or we can take C2H6 ethane. So like that, number of carbon compounds. We will discuss those in the next class. Based on the sharing capacity, they are going to form a bond, which bond is called as covalent bonding. Okay, so carbon always forms covalent bonding. No other elements do like this. Due to that, this is also one of the unique nature. We can say this is one of the unique nature of carbon. Then the third one, it is about catenation. Catenation, very important, most important and beautiful character which is existing in the carbon atom. So what is this catenation? A simple definition I can give: the self-linking of carbon atom, or the self-combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain. So that property is called as catenation. Catenation is nothing but self-combining. They are going to combine with themselves. The carbon atom itself, it is going to combine with the other carbon atom, and it forms a long chain. The self-linking will be taking place together, and it forms a long chain. That property we are calling it as catenation property. For example, look at here, carbon with itself, other carbon, again with the other carbon, again like this, they combine together. They combine together with the same kind of a carbon atom, and they forms a long chain. This property we can say that as catenation property, which is called as self-combination. Self-combination of carbon atom to form a long chain. For example, you can take octane. Octane in the sense hydrogen, nearly carbon will be having 8 atoms. 8 carbon atoms are going to combine with themselves, and they form a long chain. So that one of the example we can take. And even though when you come with the starch or cellulose which are present in the plant cells, so that it will be having more than 100 carbon atoms. More than 100 carbon atoms are going to join together. Okay, so this is one of the important character what we can say for it is one of the important versatile nature of the carbon. So based on this, another important property we can say, this carbon is going to build strong covalent bonding in between carbon with carbon or carbon with any other element. So it acts like a backbone to some other different carbon compounds. If you wanted to prepare any other carbon compounds, compound in the sense the compounds which have been formed by using carbon atom, like that we can say. So this carbon chain or the self-linking, we can say this is a backbone to prepare some other carbon compounds. So how it acts? Whenever the carbon and carbon is going to take place, they are going to combine together, they share the electron. When they share the electrons which are in the outermost shell will be having a strong bond. They are having a maximum attractive force towards the center of the nucleus because of its proton mass. When it is having a strong attractive force, to remove those electrons, to break the bond in between any other carbon atoms. See, like carbon and carbon both are joined together. Here 2 carbon atoms are combined together. So the bond which is formed in between them, here the number of electrons which are there, they are strongly bonded to center of the nucleus, and the electrons which are shared here, those also bonded to the center of the nucleus. Due to that, to break this bond, if you wanted to break the bond, we need to supply large amount of heat. So the bond which is formed here is strong covalent bond. Due to that, we can say these carbon compounds are most stable. These carbon compounds are most stable because they are formed by using covalent bond, that too by sharing the electrons in between them. By sharing the electrons, they form a strong covalent bond. So the carbon compounds here are very stable compounds. Even another example I am giving here is silicon. So this silicon have an ability to join itself. It is also going to show the catenation property. And when you come with the silicon, silicon has an ability to combine up to 7 or 8 elements. So silicon with itself, it combines to form a chain-like structure, a long chain-like structure, and it combines only up to 7 or 8 silicon atoms, not more than that. Okay, and whenever these are not made by using sharing of electrons, so due to that it is not having a strong covalent bond, we can break that bond easily. The silicon bonds can be broken easily. So this type of compounds are not stable, they are unstable. But when you come with the carbon have an ability to form a long chain. Maximum number of carbon atoms themselves they combine together to form a long chain. Okay, it may be 10, it may be 100, as I said in the last classes. So just now I have given an example. Cellulose is there. It is containing a long chain of a carbon which is having more than 100 numbers of carbon in that chain. So like that, it combines themselves and the bond in between them will be most strong because they are formed by sharing the electrons in between them. When the sharing is there, to break that bond, we need large supply of heat energy. Due to that, they won't break. So we can say carbon and its compounds are most stable. Carbon compounds are most stable compounds when you compare with any other compounds. So this carbon chain will act as a backbone to the preparation of any other carbon compounds. So this is about the versatile nature. Hope you understood the first point itself. It is a tetravalency. Carbon have an ability to show the valency 4, up to 4 electrons. It can share up to 4 electrons to become stable in nature. And how to identify that? I have explained here. And the second one, carbon will always shows covalent bonding. Okay, carbon will always shows covalent bonding and by sharing the electrons in between them. Okay, and the third one, the most beautiful, unique nature of the carbon, it is called as catenation. Catenation means self-combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain. Self-combination of carbon atoms to form a long chain. That property is called as catenation. And when the catenation is taking place, what happens? There will be sharing of electrons. By sharing, they forms a strong covalent bond. So due to that, we can say carbon compounds are most stable compounds when you compare with any other different compounds which are prepared by ionic bond or covalent coordination bonds. So this is about the versatile nature. And now let us discuss about the organic compounds which have been made by using this carbon. Yes, dear students, let us go with the organic compounds. So these organic compounds are nothing but it is the compound which is prepared by using carbon atoms. In the last class I was discussing about organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is nothing but it is a branch which deals with the study of carbon properties and its compounds. The study of carbon and its compounds is nothing but organic chemistry. And the compounds which is prepared by using carbon atoms, those type of compounds are called as organic compounds. So let us go with the organic compounds now. So before going with that one, you should know how you should have an idea about these hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons are nothing but the carbon compounds which is formed by using only carbon atom and hydrogen atom. The carbon compounds which are consisting only carbon and hydrogen, no other elements in that. It is not with the oxygen, it is not with any other nitrogen, sulfur, phosphor, just the combination of carbon and hydrogen. That type of compounds are called as hydrocarbons. For example, you can take methane, CH4, it is consisting carbon and hydrogen. And you can take ethene, C2H6, it is consisting ethane, it is consisting only carbon and hydrogen. Number of atoms may vary, but in that compound, if it is having only carbon and hydrogen in the sense, then that type of carbon compounds are called as hydrocarbons. Okay, So these organic compounds have been again divided. They are classified into two types, and in that the first type is called as saturated carbon compounds. They are called as saturated carbon compounds. And the second type, those are called as unsaturated carbon compounds. So first one, organic compounds have been divided. They have been classified into two types. First one is saturated and the second one is unsaturated carbon compounds. Then when you come to this one, saturated, so the saturated carbon compounds are the compounds which are having single bonds in between them. The carbon compounds when they are having single bonds. Then how to identify whether they are having a single bond or double bond or triple bond means, so based on the sharing capacity by using Lewis dot structure, that the carbon compounds which are consisting single bond in between them. The single bond is present in between the carbon atoms in the sense, and that type of carbon compounds are called as saturated carbon compounds. And we have another name for this one. It is called alkane. The another name for this carbon compound is alkane, and it is having general formula CnH2n plus 2. CnH2n plus 2. So here n is nothing but it is a number of carbon atoms. How many number of carbon atoms you are taking? Based on that we can take the n number. Simple first member I will show. See, if you are taking n is equals to 1. If you are taking n is equals to 1, then C in place of n, 1. Then H as it is 2 into 1, it is 2 again, plus 2 in the sense C1H4. So this is the first member of carbon compounds with that saturated. Saturated in the sense the carbon compounds which are having single bonds in between them. When they are joining, when they are combining, they should have single bond in between two carbon atoms. Then that type of carbon compounds are called as saturated carbon compounds. If you are taking second example, if n is equals to 2, if n is equals to 2, then C2 in place of n you are taking 2, and H as it is 2 into 2 in place of n you are taking 2 now. So 2 into 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 6. So H is 6. If you draw the structure, say C 2C are there. Here single bond and H are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hydrogen atoms around the carbon. So this is about your alkane. When the single bonds are present in between the carbon atom, then that type of carbon compounds are called as saturated carbon compounds, and it is also called as alkane, and the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Then let us go to the second type. It is unsaturated carbon compounds. So here in the unsaturated carbon compound, we can take both. Like if carbon compounds are having double bonds in between them, the carbon compounds if they are having double bond, are the carbon compounds which are present with the triple bond. The carbon compounds which are having double bond as well as triple bond. It may be having double bonds or triple bonds. Those type of carbon compounds are called as unsaturated carbon compounds. See, this unsaturated is again divided into two types. So this is based on the bonds which are present in carbon, in between carbon to carbon. When you come with the unsaturated carbon compounds, there are two types. When you move with that, it is the first one alkene. So here ene is there, and the second one it is alkyne. So Y and E is a suffix word. E and E is there means we can say these are consisting carbon with carbon double bonds. If the double bond is present in between two carbon chain, then that type of carbon compounds are called as unsaturated, even though we can call them as alkenes. Generally they are called as unsaturated, we can call them as alkenes. If the carbon compound is having carbon with other carbon, 3 bonds. If 3 bonds are present means, then those are called as a triple bond, and even though these triple bonded compounds are also called as unsaturated carbon compounds. Generally, we can call them as alkyne. Okay, Y and E is a suffix word, and here for alkene, E and E is a suffix word. Suppose if it is a saturated, what we can do? If it is a saturated, so we can say it is having single bond, carbon with carbon, single bond, and the name is alkane. A-N-E is the suffix word. So single bond A-N-E, alkane. Double bond E-N-E, alkene. Triple bond Y-N-E, alkyne. And general formula for alkene, CnH2n. Only this one, CnH2n. When we take n is equals to 1, see this alkene and alkyne, n value should start from 2 only. It is not with the 1, because if you are taking n value is equals to 1, the bonds are not going to satisfy. Due to that, the valency of that carbon is not going to satisfy. So the first member of this alkene and alkyne should start with n value is equals to 2. So let us take n value is 2. See, and in place of n, you are taking 2, H as it is. 2 into n is nothing but 2, so 2 into 2, 4. So C2H4, and the name of this compound is ethene. Ethene. I am taking eth. Why I took ene? Ene in the sense double bonded. So how to draw the structure? Carbon with again carbon. There are 2 carbon atoms, and in between them you should draw double bonds. Why? Because it is having E and E. Even though by using electron dot structure also, see, if you are taking electron dot structure, carbon with here 2, 2, 2. Total 4 valence electrons. Here also carbon, and again 4 valence electrons. So how many hydrogens are there here? 4 hydrogens. On each side you give 2, 2. So here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen, which are having single valence electrons. Okay, and hydrogen will share like this. The sharing should be given by circles. Then this carbon is going to share 2 electrons from here and 2 electrons from other carbon. Then this one is sharing 2 electrons from hydrogen and 2 electrons from other carbon. Now look into the board. There are sharing of 2 pairs of electrons in between 2 carbon atoms. So here one pair and here one pair. So how many bonds are present in between carbon? 2 bonds. So double bonded. So here H2 and H2. This is called as ethene. Due to that, the double bond which is present in between the carbon atoms means those are called as alkene. And the first member of alkene is ethene. In place of n is equals to 2, if you are taking n is equals to 3, then what we can write? C3H as it is, C3H as it is, 2 into 3. 3 2s are 6. So hydrogen 6 atoms. So in between carbon double bond is there, and the name of this compound is propene. It is called as propene. So suffix word is E and E. This is about your alkene. When you move towards the alkyne, what happens here? The general formula for alkyne is CnH2n minus 2. Okay, CnH2n minus 2. In place of n value is equals to 2. Here also for alkyne, the first member will start with n value is equals to 2, not with 1, because the valency of carbon will not satisfy if you are taking n value 1. Okay, so start with n value is equals to 2. Then the first member C2, H2 into 2, 4 minus 2 is nothing but 2. So hydrogen 2. Okay, only 2 hydrogens are present. If you wanted to draw the structure, I will draw here. See. If you wanted to draw the structure, see carbon with how many carbon atoms? 2 carbon atoms are there. Carbon with carbon. So only 2 hydrogens are there in between them. So 2 hydrogens. Both the side 2 hydrogens we have to draw. Okay. Here one hydrogen. Here one hydrogen. And here one hydrogen. 2 carbon atoms. here 1 electron and 3 electrons at the left side, and here 3 electrons for other carbon. So like this we have to show the sharing. Hydrogen got satisfied now. Carbon, they are having 3 electrons, so 1 with hydrogen and the other 3 with other carbon atom. So 1 with hydrogen and the other 3 with other carbon atom. Now look into the diagram or the Levi-Strauss structure. How many pairs have been joined here? 1 pairs, 2 pair and 3 pair. So total 3 pairs of electrons are going to share in between them. Due to that, we can write this as carbon with 1 bond, 2 bond, 3 bond, then again carbon. Here 1 hydrogen is joined and this side, left side, 1 hydrogen is joined. So because of the presence of this triple bond in between the carbon, then that type of compounds are called as alkynes. Okay, and the name of this compound, it is ethine. The name of this compound is ethine. Y-N-E is the suffix word. If a single bond is present, then those are called as alkanes and the suffix word is A-N-E. If a double bond is present, 2 bonds are present in between carbon, those are called as alkenes and the suffix word is E-N-E. At last you should mention E-N-E. If 3 bonds are present, so just now I given, if 3 bonds are present in between carbon, then we have to say them as alkynes and the suffix word Y-N-E. Y-N-E. So this is about your organic compounds. Organic compound is nothing but it is the compound which is found, which is combined with carbon and any other elements, and in that these organic compounds are divided into 2 types, in that saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So when you come with the saturated hydrocarbon, the carbon and carbon is joined or it is combined with single bond, only single bond is present, means this is called as alkane. If a carbon compounds are joined, they are bonded with the double bonds in the sense, those are called as alkenes. Okay, generally they are called as alkenes. This is a type of unsaturated carbon compound. If it is having a 3 bonds, triple bonded compounds, those are called as alkynes. So this is about the classification of organic compounds. So after this you have some functional groups, and how to name that functional group, it is very important. But in this year, in the 2020 or 21 academic, in that the syllabus have been completely reduced. We are not having the naming of organic compounds. A very important topic in your POC. Later in the further classes we will discuss how to name the compounds also. It is not there, it is exceptional for your syllabus, but let us discuss about them also. In next class we will discuss about the functional groups.